Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the first time I've ever been able to present a bill to music, so it's an unusual experience for me. This is a simple bill. The Brantley Board of Education wanted to carry their meetings, their elections to nonpartisan, and they passed a resolution asking for that. And I would not have brought this bill unless there had been a resolution that had been vetted in public and had a public vote on this. And this is not, again, anything that I've initiated. Personally, I'm neither here nor there on this, and would not do this without the initiation coming from the local level and without having that public open vote. And so they voted on this, and I presented the bill for them, asking that the Board of Education elections be nonpartisan. And that's basically the bill, and it has been advertised, like you said. So, no, sir, I have not. I have not done that. I understood that the Brantley board would do that.
Okay, they're going to do that.
Yes, sir.
That has to be done.
Right.
They need to understand. I guess they're waiting on the passage of the bill. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I will make sure that that's communicated to them, and that they do that.
Okay. Do you have? Is the branch? May I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Do you have districts in Brantley County, or is this a plurality vote?
I believe we have districts in Brantley County.
Chad, do you have districts in Brantley? I'll just try to help you, Senator, here.
The best of my knowledge,
They have districts.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. The reason I'm saying if it's a plurality vote, I don't know how they work that.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if they.
I don't believe it's they have. In fact, I know they have districts,
Okay,
because
fine.
I just
Okay.
remembered from the last election.
All right. Any questions of the author? Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since you have to have Justice Department pre-clearance, and since you're
Go ahead, Mr. Reiner.
Since you have to have Justice Department pre-clearance, and since we're talking about something that involves district lines, I'm assuming that there's no elections held this year?
No, sir. To my knowledge, there's no elections to be held this year. They won't be held until the 2012 election.
Then explain to me the logic of having a piece of legislation with Justice Department approval for lines that won't be used and will be redrawn after the census.
Well, I don't know. My understanding is that they're, and I may not have the full, complete understanding of this, is that they're just wanting to move this to the nonpartisan. I don't know that the districts would be changed. Perhaps they would, but I don't know that this bill is affecting the lines in any way.
Mr. Chairman, is it not true that unless there's a zero population growth in any county, that the lines will be changed in 2012?
I think you're correct, Mr. Reynolds. I think can I help you with this? I think where he's saying is that you're changing the election criteria.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to matter that much, because all they're going to do is, instead of becoming, Republican or Democrat, usually in this order, let me try to explain to you from where Mr. Reiners is coming
Yes,
from.
sir.
Normally, when you change from partisan to nonpartisan election, what happens is that you lose money from the partisan election capability. In other words, if the Republican Party is contributing money
Right.
to your county, the Democratic Party and any independent, if there is any,
Correct.
that money goes to your county basically for the election.
Right.
Now, on the other side of that, you only have one election, and you could end up with three with a partisan election. You'll have a primary, a runoff, and then a general election.
Correct.
It could end up being four if you have a write-in candidate, but that's pretty unheard of in our area of the world. In a nonpartisan election, it's one time only usually, and sometimes there might be a runoff. But other than that, that would be the case there.
Yes, sir.
So, is it as far as trying to figure out what's the cost differential? That's one part that I think is sort of a wash.
Right.
Where he's going his own lines, those lines will change.
Right.
There's no doubt that they'll change because your population of Brantley County is going to change.
Right.
I think it's going to be increased. In fact, I think you probably understand that.
Yes, sir.
So those lines will change. Now, those partisan, they will just be running in a nonpartisan election, and I think that's where we are. I don't think it's going to hurt that part of the deal, but he needs to understand that there will be a change.
Mr.
Right.
Chairman, I'm not addressing the situation in regards to whether the elections would be partisan or nonpartisan. I'm speaking specifically to the Section 5 of the Civil Rights Voting Act in regards to the retrogression of any district, partisan or not, in regards to nothing to dilute minority representation. And if those lines are shifted at all, which they will be just from a change in overall population, we will in fact be asking for lines to be changed in a county where elections will never be held to ensure that minority participation is not diluted, and then have to resubmit lines a year later once the census is done and the lines have to be moved again. That's my point.
I understand, and I think the opinion...
Partisan is the dilution, or potential dilution of minority voting strength.
I see your point in that, and that's probably going to be left up to the Justice Department, because that's in a pay scale way above me, because that's... You starting to talk lawyer talk now, Mr. Reiners. You know you're going to get me on that.
Accused of that.
Yes, sir. I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on TV. The bottom line is what he's telling you is right. There could be a look at dilution of minority affiliation there. I don't know that for a fact. We're going to pass this bill because that's our job, or not pass this bill. That's
Right.
our job.
Yes.
The job of the Justice Department will be to determine whether or not they think there's diluted effort there. If it looks diluted, then we may be coming back with this. You need to understand that. I think that's what Mr. Reiners is trying to say.
Well,
I'm sorry, I misrepresented.
I'll let them know. Like I said, the commission asked for this, and I just agreed to carry it.
I understand
with them.
Senator.
We'll do
Appreciate
that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I always work at your pleasure, but I just want to make sure that the bottom line point is, my point is that you have my word, the Justice Department will look at Section 5 of the Civil Rights Voting Act.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking about why the local community, if they're aware of that, would submit for lines that they'll never be able to use, instead of just waiting until 2012 when the census numbers are in, and sending one piece of legislation for Justice Department approval. That's my point. The locals may not be aware of that.
Well, they may not, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't understand that this right here would in any way affect the lines and if you're talking about moving lines or adjusting lines, I don't. That's what my knowledge is.
I guess my
limited.
question. This is another question. It just sort of came to mind. If you don't mind, it follow on. Are your lines for your district? For your school board the same as your county commission lines?
I think that they may pretty well run along those same lines, but I'm not positive on that. They may or may
Well, you
not.
understand that, of course, there's a partisan election there, and then there will be a nonpartisan. I know in my county that's the way it is. My county school board is a nonpartisan, and my county commission is partisan.
Right.
And they run on the same lines.
Right.
But they changed it after the fact, so we will submit again Justice Department approval
Right.
on both sets. So that is an expense they need to know about, because they don't do it for zero money.
For nothing. Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
I'll let them know.
Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead and make your motion. I have a motion to pass. I have a second. All in favor, state by saying aye. All opposed? Your bill passes. You understand that you will have to take this to rules,
Yes, sir.
and you will be required to get your sponsor over here. And I think your sponsor's looking at you right back here.
Yes,
I ate
sir.
lunch with him. He bought my lunch today.
Well, He's never bought my lunch, Mr. Chairman.
I think I'd get him to do it for you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Just comment, Senator. Next time you present a bill, we prefer ZZ Top or Leonard Skinner.
I'll make arrangements for that. To get some.
Senator, my only point is I just want to make sure you let your locals know that they're going to be submitting to the Justice Department a set of lines.
Yes, sir.
Even if they're current ones, that they'll never use for approval. And
Okay.
submitting them
And again.
That's
Okay.
my point.
Okay, and they may not have thought about that. I can tell you I did. So, thank you all, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thanks, Senator. Appreciate you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Next on the list is House Bill 22, and I'm looking for the sponsor at this time. I think somebody went out to get them.
You're probably out there dancing, Mr. Chairman.
I understand. Ladies and gentlemen, in your packet you will see House Bill 200. I just want to let you know that bill has been delegated down to Judiciary.
Senator Jones, the author, just walked in. He was notified of the meeting.
Senator Jones, your bill has been delegated down to Judiciary. I don't know why, but and I think Henry County is probably one of those counties that has what we call a super probate judge, and that is a required to be an attorney, and that might be why they sent it down there, because those attorneys like to talk to attorneys. That's the only thing I can figure. But it's been sent to Judiciary, not here. We were not aware of that till this morning. I was going to go ahead and call you, Bill. If you want to try to change that, we will, but right now that's the way it stands, and so I apologize for you not getting the word on that. I apologize to you. All right. Representative Oliver, are you ready to present your bill?
I have been advised, Mr. Chairman, that one of my DeKalb County delegation members has taken his name off my bill. He didn't tell me that, but your good aide, Mr. Ward Lamb, told me that.
Yes, ma'am.
I do not have the signature at this instant. That will change, of course, but at this instant I'm not ready to do it.
Okay, do you want to call another meeting of this committee in the next near future, or?
I'll let you know, Mr. Chairman, if I know.
All right, if you will, ladies and gentlemen of the committee, unless the requisite signatures do appear, then she does not really have the requisite to bring the bill as a local bill. What we'll do is we will wait until you tell me, and then we'll have another meeting of this committee, if that's all right with y'all. Any questions of the committee for that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is that all the business we have, Mr. Lamb?
Yes, sir, as far as I know, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the committee, we stand adjourned.